Lakeland Vet Fest is a one-stop shop connecting veterans and their families with services and benefits they've earned. Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium is the backdrop where veterans can meet with the providers and the resources they need. Joining us on today's Veteran is presenter of Vet Fest, Congressman Scott Franklin of Florida's 18th Congressional District. Welcome to the show.
Great. Good to be here with you.
Great to be with you. You know, we got to talk to you a couple years ago, did an interview, I think up top, down below, somewhere around. But this is the first time you've been on the show. Welcome to today's Veteran.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, as we hear, you're a Lakeland guy, graduated in 1982.
Dreadnoughts, class of 82.
Talk to me a little bit about your military service. How did you end up in the Navy?
So, well, for me, it actually started back when I was 5 years old. I was at a ticker tape parade in Houston, Texas when I was 5 years old, and the astronauts had just come back from the moon, and everybody was giving all the attention to the astronauts. I was more fixated on the Blue Angels that flew that day, and I decided then that's what I wanted to do, and always grew up with a desire to fly in the military. So looked at Air Force Academy, Naval Academy, ended up settling on Navy, and I went there and was class of 86 from Navy.
So let's talk a little bit about your service. Talk to me a little bit about some of the jobs that you had, some of the things that you did.
Okay, so I was always an aviator, so went to Pensacola straight out of flight school. Top Gun, the original Top Gun, came out the week I got commissioned. So life was good to be a 22-year-old ensign heading to Pensacola with orders to fly. Finished flight school, was stationed in Jacksonville for a long time, for 12 years after flight school, in fact. Always flew carrier jets and just did a series of deployments, sea duty, shore duty. I was a flight instructor on shore duty for a while. Was in Desert Storm, first Gulf War. And then all through the 90s, we were patrolling no-fly zone. So all of our deployments were pretty much go straight through the Suez Canal, head to the Persian Gulf, and patrol the box for 6 months. So I did that until 2000, and then left active duty. I returned here to Lakeland, immediately joined the reserves, and the deal at the time was that pre 9/11, the reserves were a pretty good gig. It was a weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. You could continue to get promoted, all that sort of thing. And I joined the crisis response team for CENTCOM. And the deal with that was if something bad goes down, you'll probably want to go be involved in it anyway. And it's a short-term gig. It'll be 30 days. If it's something really long, they'll backfill you with somebody else. I'm like, sounds like the great opportunity for me. So I was on the CRT, and so on 9/11, which interestingly, 24 years ago this week, I was watching the news on TV when I saw the first tower being hit was a shock. The second tower was like, okay, that's not a coincidence. We're at war. I knew I was going to get the call, and sure enough, I got a call 2 hours later. They said, pack your stuff. The airspace is closed, but as soon as we can get airborne, we're going to be heading, shipping out. So actually, 24 years ago this weekend, on Saturday after 9/11, I was on a plane for Bahrain and was over there and there through the start of all the shock and awe and everything we did after that. So stayed in the reserves for another several years and finally retired in 2012.
So your service to the country, did that inspire you to serve the community and in public service as far as from Congress, or how did that come about?
Absolutely. I always told people when I was in the Navy, what I love the most about the job is even though I was a microscopic speck in something, we talked about this, you're yourself, and I know you understand this, but to be a part of something so big and so important was really meaningful. And I tell people, the things that happen on the news today are going to shape what I do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the stuff I do tomorrow as part of this job in the military will make tomorrow night's news. And it was great to always be connected to that. When I came back onto the civilian side and was working here in Lakeland for 20 years or so, I got involved civically, loved being involved in doing things and giving back to the community. But I really missed that sense of the bigger, really big mission stuff and being a part of something special. And wanted that, I missed it. And I really have found that in Congress, especially now, the ability to work on defense issues, shape the military going forward. I'm on the board of visitors at the Naval Academy now, so I get to influence our next generation of leaders and how we do that, and also be able to be heavily involved with veterans. I've been on the Veterans Affairs Committee. I'm on the Appropriations Committee for Military Construction and VA, so every dollar that gets spent on veterans, I get to have a hand in shaping that. So it's been really meaningful to me.
Talk about the importance with that military background and the fact that you can help shape what veterans are going through today. Talk a little bit about the importance of you, and there are others that have that military background that are helping.
We need veterans, and I'll tell you, we have the smallest percentage of veterans serving in Congress, really, in modern history. There was a time through the 70s and the 80s when you still had World War II, Korean War, Vietnam era vets, Cold War folks, where north of 80% of members of Congress were veterans. It's now less than 20. I've seen it's around 16%. So there's an awful lot of people making really, really meaningful, consequential decisions that have no connection whatsoever to the military. So we need more vets, not just for that reason. It helps that veterans understand what other veterans are going through and what the needs are, but also that there's just a different style of leadership that comes to that. It's kind of a quiet leadership.
Mm-hmm.
If I look around in Congress and I see my fellow veterans, both sides of the aisle, they're the quiet leaders. They're not the ones out always seeking attention and trying to get the social media sensation.
Yeah.
We just want to get the job done. It's accomplished the mission, and I've been very fortunate to be a part of a bipartisan group of veterans, a group called Four Country Caucus. It's Republicans, it's Democrats. As we say, when the bullets start flying, it doesn't matter. There's no atheist in Foxhole. There's no political connections in any of that. And the same thing happens there too. We all share that common bond that we raised our right hands, we shaved our heads, we put a uniform on, we swore an oath to the Constitution, and we're there to get the mission done. Now, we'll have political disagreements on certain issues, but we come together and work well on putting forth bipartisan legislation.
From a veteran standpoint, I know being in the system since '96, there are peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
What can veterans expect over the coming years? Things have gotten a lot better. What is it that you're trying to do to help the veterans get the things that they need?
I don't think I know I didn't fully appreciate the scope and scale of the VA until I got involved in this. It is a massive, massive organization. It's second only to the Department of Defense itself as far as the complexity and just the amount of people involved in all the processes. So we've got a lot of work to do. It's like any bureaucracies just tend to get more complicated, more complex, more layered with technical stuff that all begins well-intentioned, but after a while people forget exactly why we're even doing things the way we are. So we're trying to streamline that, knowing that at the end of the day, all of that bureaucracy exists only to serve the needs of the veteran. And if it's not doing that, then we're going to take a hard look at it. I'm very encouraged with our new VA secretary. I've met with him in my office. We've had great conversations, and he gets it. He believes it. He understands the need and things that need to be improved upon. So, but it's not all broken. The VA does a lot of things right, and it really depends on each veteran you speak with is what their experiences have been. Some absolutely love it, wouldn't want to change things. We can always improve. In some cases, we've let veterans down. We've got to get service to the veterans where they are and what their needs are, meet their needs where they are, and that presents a challenge,
And speaking of where they are, they're here today at Vet Fest. I believe we're in year number three of this.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about this. They're great community partners, the Tigers, and then all the people that are here. Talk to me, how did this come about?
Well, it came from talking to veterans who don't understand many times where they need to go to get the services that are available, or they're not aware of things that they could be availed of. So this event kind of came about as a one-stop shop to bring together all the different resources. I wish we could do this throughout the district. When we first started, and I was in Florida 15, which was the first district I represented, kind of went from eastern Hillsborough County up to Lake County. It was easy to do this kind of centrally and be compact. Now Florida 18 that I represent starts here in Lakeland, goes all the way down to Clewiston, even south of Clewiston. So it's difficult for veterans that far away to make an event like this. But out of our 800,000 or so constituents in the district, more than half live here in Polk County. So it makes sense to continue doing it here. The Tigers have been great partners, and it's really, really encouraging to see all the different groups that want to come out and support this.
So that kid that graduated from Lakeland High School back in 1982, did he ever even think he'd see a sign like that? I mean, honestly, every year that I'm here, that is the coolest thing.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, today I'm just really proud to be able to affiliate with the vets and be able to do things that we can do to help them out.
Well, we got just about a minute left. Anything that you want the veterans, or even the folks that are within your district to know about, or anything that's coming up that you want them to know about?
Well, I would say to all the veterans, please know, as dysfunctional as Congress seems to be, and actually is a lot of times, there's really no issue stronger than veterans issues that will unite people on both sides of the aisle to get it done. We know that veterans made a commitment to the country. They serve, as we've said, it's cliche. It's, you sign a blank check. You don't know, up to and including the price of your life that you're willing to give to do that. We have a tremendous debt of gratitude and responsibility to those veterans to make good on it, and members of Congress are doing that. It's the most bipartisan area of anything we focus on. We know we have a lot of work to do, but we're not going to let them down. They have my commitment on that.
Hey, I want to commend you on your staff. In speaking with the folks in Washington, here within Polk County, they have been incredible to work with. And
wonderful.
Yeah, great. Hey, listen, thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate your time and effort. And you got folks out there waiting for you, so we don't want to hold you up anymore, all right?
Well, thanks for highlighting this and bringing awareness to it. And hopefully next year for the 4th, we'll have an even greater turnout.
For more information about Congressman Scott Franklin, go to franklin.house.gov or look him up on Facebook, facebook.com/Rep.Franklin/. I invite you to find out more about the benefits and resources available to Polk County veterans. You can make an appointment with the Polk County Veteran Services at polk-county.net or give them a call at 863-534-5220.